How far would you go to make more money? Would you be willing to lie about your gender in order to make more money? Imagine living in a time as a woman where you're not typically able to make your own money, but the money that you are able to make is very slim to none. This is the exact situation that Cathay Williams found herself in. Instead of taking the minimum amount of money that she could make, she took matters into her own hands and did what she could to make the most money. The story of Williams is one that's truly inspirational. She wanted to have her own independence. As a former unmarried slave, independence was a very big thing for her. But to her, independence meant that she made her own money. She did not want to have to rely on her friends and her family. This led to her joining the Army. In all my research that I did on Williams, the true reason that she enlisted in the Army was that so she could make more money. She knew as a former cook for the Army that the male soldiers made more money than the female cooks. Today I'm going to inform you on all the things Williams did to make more money, such as disguising herself as a man so she could join the Army. But because she disguised herself as a man, this makes her the first documented African American soldier to ever be enlisted in the Army. However, though, she was denied her pension because she disguised herself as a man. Even though, despite all that, people still view her as a war hero. Now that I've given you a little bit of an insight on who Cathay Williams is and why she joined the Army and a peek into her life after, let's get into the details of Williams' life during and after the war. To kind of set the scene, this is all happening during and after the Civil War. During this time, women were not allowed to serve in the military. However, Williams knew as a former cook for the Army that the male soldiers made more money than the female cooks. So she disguised herself as a man and enlisted in the Army. She enlisted under the name Williams Cathay. Because at the time when they did the medical exams, they did not do full body medical exams. So she was able to skate by without being noticed as that she was really a female. Another reason Williams was able to be able to pass as a man was because she was very tall. She was recorded as being 5'9", so she was able to pass even more as a man. At the start, as I stated earlier, Williams wanted to be independent. It's even recorded that Williams herself said, "I wanted to make my own living. I did not want to have to rely on relations and friends." This was really her main drive for joining the Army. Even though the Army eventually found out that Williams was truly a woman and not a man, because of the time that she was enlisted, it did make her the first documented African American female soldier. Not only is Williams known as the first African American female soldier, she's also known as the only known female Buffalo soldier. She has a lot of firsts when it comes to being a documented soldier. This is Cathay Williams. As you can see by her height and how she had her hair, she was able to pass as a man when she was enlisted in the Army. And this is a rock that's in Colorado. It has a plaque on it that's honoring her and recognizing her as the only known Buffalo soldier. Williams knew that there were people in her regiment that knew that she was really a woman, such as a cousin and her friend. However, because no one outed her, she was able to skate by and serve even longer. However, while Williams was serving, she got the smallpox. She got it twice actually, and the second time led to her being hospitalized. It was at this time that the post surgeon recognized that she was actually a female and not a male, and this led to her being discharged. However, after Williams was discharged, later on she did get married, but her husband did steal all of her money and leave her with nothing. Even though Williams was left with nothing, she eventually found work again as a seamstress. However, though, shortly after, she became very ill, and so it became very overwhelming for her to work. It was at this time that Williams decided to go to the doctor to apply for her military disability pension. However, she was denied, not because that she was undeserving, but because she enlisted as a man and disguised herself as a man during her time in the Army. Because Williams was ill, and some of the illnesses that Williams did suffer from was neuralgia and diabetes. It was because of this that she had her toes amputated, so she walked with a crutch. That was her main reason for wanting military disability. Unfortunately, it is believed that shortly after Cathay Williams was denied her pension, she did unfortunately pass away. After all that Williams went through to make a living and a life for herself, people still viewed her as a war hero. What would make her a war hero? What makes her a war hero is the fact she had determination and she had very good determination and went through great extents to save lives and serve her country. The first time Williams had smallpox, she could have used that as an out to get out of the army. Instead, she rejoined her unit and continued to serve her country. Even after Williams was discharged, she still served the army in a way. She went back to being a cook and served the army that way. Williams did not join the army because she wanted to be recognized as a hero. She did join the army because she wanted to make more money, but it's also very prevalent that she did want to serve her country. She had great determination and dedication to her country. Because of all of Williams' accomplishments, she being the first African American female soldier, the only known female Buffalo soldier, she most likely, though, was not aware of the impact she had because she did pass away before people really recognized it. Williams truly did live a very exciting, impactful life, and I hope that you found it as impactful and informational and interesting as I did. Williams really wanted to make a living for herself, so she joined the army. She did so by disguising herself as a man and was denied her pension, but people still view her as her hero despite all of that. At the beginning of the speech, I asked you whether or not you would like to what extent you would go to make more money. I hope you've given these questions some thought, and after hearing about what Cathay Williams did, would you have done the same thing? After hearing about everything about Williams' life and hearing about all that she did to make more money, I ask you one more time, how far would you go to make more money?